Yo, what up? Alright, welcome back. Gonna dive right back into this, coding the software, doing the pythons. Okay, so last thing I was working on was the input polling. So this is the function I've got for that. I was trying to split this message up into 8-byte chunks. Yeah. So this is a byte string. Mm, hmm. Struct pack might be a better way to do this. Let's see, Ben ASCII. So we can unhex it. Um, Let's try that. Expected 64 items for packing, got 1. Ugh. Let's see what that looks like. It needs to be a byte array. Let's see. Okay, so let's just take this byte array. We'll stick our message in there. I think that should work. No. Guess not. What if I try to convert it into, or can I just do decode? No. Where is byte array? Byte array. Must be string, not bytes. That's still bytes, right? Yeah. Must be string, not bytes. Doesn't this come out as a string though? Oh, no, it comes out as bytes. Bin ASCII. Okie dokie. I need to get containing 2 hexadecimal digits for each byte in the instance. Gives you F0, F1, F2. So they're going from byte array from hex. So they've got a byte array and then they do reverse. What? You're telling me I can just do a dot reverse on this string? Don't tell me. Yeah. Is it reversed? No, of course not. Yeah, that's what I thought. But if you turn it into a byte array, alright. So byte array built in. Oops. Yes, you're right. I did mean reverse. Oh. Wait. Alright. Alright, so I got a byte array. Should be able to just do a byte array reverse, right? Oh. Print message. Since that's an in-place operation, so should be able to do that, and then, well, it didn't reverse it, so that's unfortunate. Let's see, message equals message reverse. Nothing. Hmm. Do do do. Actually, let's check the built-in type bytes. Byte source encoding. Hmm. Yep. Not too sure. Alright, bytes and byte array operations. Decode returns bytes decoded to a string. Does not return the reversed sequence. Okay. Did that do it? Am I gonna turn it back into, no, that didn't do it. Because the 0, 1 would be like over here. You know what? Whatever. Let's just go and collect all of these. Um, okay, so let's go ahead and wrap these in some Python bullshit. Alright, I'm gonna replace the beginning and the end with some quotes. Actually, let's just do the beginning. So we want to do that one separate. Do the end with quotes, comma. Oh, I don't want new lines. No, what the fuck? Bruh. That'll do it. We'll just chop that off the front. Do that. And then we'll add this on to the end. And a comma. That's good enough. Alright. Okay, so that's our key map. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 keys. We're just gonna get lazy with it. So that's our key map data. So where is our whole input? So if that is that, if message in key map, how the fuck do you get the index? Index. Okay. Alright, so this should print out whichever number key on the thingy was pressed. So let's try that. It does nothing. Alright, that's fine. These things happen. If message in key map. I was gonna say stop message all fucked up. No. Oh, that's why. These all need to be byte strings. Motherfucker. Look at that. We've got keys. Wowee! See, I just did it the easy way. Just grab all the messages for the keys, put them into a table or an array. So now we can pull for input. That'll tell us what the key is. Let's see, key code equals key map index message. Key code was pressed. And we're going to return the key code. Then when we go back into here, that'll pull for input continually. And then this returns the key code. So then we can handle key code stuff in here. Like, if, or let's see. Let's just do pull input, and then we can do a handle input. So def handle input, and that'll be self, and then key code. And then what do you want to do based off the key code? I don't know. Wow, I cannot count. 10, 11, 9, let's see, 10 and 11. All right, so that's all of our inputs. Let's see. Handle input key code. And then just for shits and giggles, print doing button 5 things. And let's go test it. Oh! Key 0 press. Handle input is not defined. Oh, yeah. Okay. Doing button 5 things. And 8, 9, 10, 11. That's actually button 12, but we're in Python land, so things start from 0. Okay, cool. So we've got that going. What else do we need? Actually here, I wanted to do this. Before I forget. Text free type. that too small? That's probably too small. Whatever. Cool. Okay, buttons are sort of working. I just need to do stuff with the input. So that's gonna be shit like hooking it into Linux to do I don't know, whatever the hell I want, like playing fart noises or something. Um so that I can deal with later. But right now we are successfully grabbing the key presses. Let's go ahead and let's test the image thing again. Or no. What do I want to do? We could do like, just open up a new shell. Import OS. Oh, I already have it. Okay. Let's see. OS dot, what is it? Sub process? Is it? Oh, no. It's a whole ass module. Okay. Duh. Sub process run. Okay. I don't think it's going to. It may pop up. I don't think it will, but it may pop up. No, I have no idea. Some writing in the background. I don't know. Who cares? Um, Whatever. We could deal with that later. I do kind of want to mess with the image generation, or the not the image generation, but the code to send the image, or is it this one, set panel image? So I messed with this one a couple months back. And I sort of got it working. So I guess the thing is I will need, I don't know. So the problem is that I don't really have like an interface or like a UI to make changes to the config. So maybe what I can do is I can have like a JSON file or something that it reads a config from, and then that works? I don't know. Could do that. Let's do a little brainstorming. So JSON config file. Obviously we want to keep track of like button function, button number, button image, display brightness, screen timeout. I don't need to save that, but okay. So if anything, our JSON needs to have this kind of stuff in it. We can make like a function for something. I don't know. You could just have it emulate hotkeys. That would actually be really useful. Let's see, how do you do Python HID emulation? PyWin32, that's funny because we don't have PyWin32. There's a keyboard library. So let's simulate some keystrokes. Path on U input evdev. evdev import U input, E codes as E. Pythonic API to U input kernel module. That's an interface to the Linux kernel. There's also this pyinput dot keyboard. That might be the best one. Alright, so that's an option. So this one will bind directly to the evdev interface. Reading events using async IO. This one seems pretty easy. py input. Let's try that. 3 install py input. Malware. No. Okay. Alright, let's get. So we can just press keys, import key. Keyboard. So I just want to send keys. Okay, let's try this. Import key and controller. There they are. That's what I want. Not command. What do I want? Where is it? It's like meta key. Meta. Menu? No. Maybe it is that one. Menu. Okay. So let's just try. Right command button, left command button. Super. Oh, this is okay. So it's command L. That's super. Okay. So I need command L. So then we do keyboard.press. Okay. Cool. Then we do keyboard dot press key dot cmdl. That's it, right? So this should, if I do this right, oops. Resource busy, huh? Okay. Time to unplug and plug back in. Sometimes I do that. Alright, plugged back in. Let's get this re-added. And try it again. Okay, so now I press the first button. Key 0 press, doesn't do shit. Okay. I mean, it tells me that it pressed it, but... So that is supposed to... Keyboard, press, handle input key code. Let's do that, and then we can do self keyboard. That way we don't have to keep doing it over and over and over, or reinitializing it. So that should produce that kind of result. CMD, oh, that's generic command button. Okay. Presses a key. Key number is a key code, or that strings will be transferred to key code care. Numbers of key will be translated to their value. Okay, so maybe I could just do it with a string instead of trying to do that. CMDL. Ah, value error. Maybe I can't do that. That didn't work either. Just try CMD. It could just be, oops. It could just be undefined. Nope. Hmm. Okay. So keyboard dot press key and then the command. That should be it. Let me just try a regular ass letter instead of some meta key. Alright, so this should. Look at that. Puts a bunch of A's down. Okay, so our buttons are working. Well, button is working. So now we can okay, so that'll be part of the JSON config is the keystrokes will be kind of like a setup of the key codes, like the way that you do those. So I guess if you wanted to do simultaneous key presses, how does that work? Okay, so that has a type method. That's fun. Oh, do you have to release it? Hmm. Okay, so we're gonna want the JSON to kind of reflect so it'd be sort of like action keybind, and then we'll have value is like CMD comma, we'll just do CMD plus A. So it'd be like Windows key A or Windows key D. Oh, we need button. Button. Say like number 4. So button number 4 action keybind value CMD. And then say we wanted to do a different one, we can do like button 1. It's not a keybind, but it's launch. And then we'll have like echo. Hello. And that'll just launch, I guess, bash with hello or something like that. Run a sub process. So it does like a sub processor, does a sub process. This one will do like a keybind slash keystroke. So we could set it up like that. That would be a decent-ish way. And then for other stuff like image and everything like that, we could We could even have that as like a separate thing, but also informed through the JSON if we wanted to. Um, hmm. Realistically, at this point, I've got the buttons being detected, and I've got them doing stuff, so I can do a keyboard key press. I guess let's do we could do the let's set up a function for input methods. Def input methods, and then self, and then method. If method, let's see, keybind, in method, then we do this thing, pass. Oops. If we've got, what was execute? If we got execute in method, then we do that stuff. Okay, just as some examples. So, and then these should also check to see, actually, key map, key code. Where'd it go? You just have those defined as, doesn't even matter what number, could just be in like a dictionary or something, and address it with that. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Not sure how the best or what the best way to do that would be. Oh, sorry guys. No, my chat isn't. I guess I have that disabled. Chat hasn't been showing up. Um, I'm working on. I have this. Here, I'll unplug it and show you. It's a little stream deck thing. It's got 12 buttons on it, little clicky buttons. It's like a knockoff. It's made by mountain.gg, and it doesn't work in Linux, so I'm writing some software for it. If I could plug it in. Okay. But yeah, so got those going. I need to, I don't know what else to do with this other than start filling it out. I guess let's make some stupid JSON or something. Let's go back into our CyberChef. Clear all that. Clear all that. I mean it's both. It's for fun and accountability if I like find something, I guess, find vulnerabilities or bugs or something. But at the moment it's just for fun. 'Cause I have this knockoff stream deck that doesn't work in Linux, so I would like to have it working. It cost me $35. I could have spent more money on like an actual one, but actually, do stream decks even work in Linux? I don't know. Doesn't even matter. Let's see. regex, find replace. Actually, I think I can just, ew. Cell delimiters. No, I don't want that. Oh, gross. I don't know, whatever. I'll just do it over here. So I guess each one will be a dictionary, and then that'll contain like, or no, I guess I want a dictionary of, it'd probably be easier to organize them straight off the key as the number. Because then I can pull them straight from that. So then we'll do like action. That can be keybind. Oops. And then this can be value. CMD plus D. Actually, we just do CMD. Oh, I'm not actually that great at coding. I'm kind of bad. I don't know. Everybody would say that they're bad, I guess. But it depends. It depends on what I'm doing. If I'm just doing some pretty basic Python or something like that, it's not too bad. And then this one will be just like, let's do F1. And then I can duplicate this 2, or so that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, and I still can't count. Jeez. 10, 11. Right, so we will copy that. Action. Okay, cool. So then come back over here. And actually, let's just save this as a new file. This will be key settings or something. I don't know. Key mappings.json. Cool. Key mappings.json. Of course it's not valid. Because I need extra commas. Right? Is that what I'm missing? Oops. Oh my god. Is that not what the hell am I missing? Oh, it's supposed to be value. That's what it is. Wow, so bad. Duplicate all the wrong shit. Okay. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, JSON's pretty prolific. It's a good thing to be familiar with. Find and replace. Okay, so I want to find, what is it, comma, action. Or replace. Oh, I guess it's just, start of the line, white space? No. I swear there's white space over here somewhere. Oh, it's new line. I'm so dumb. Okay, so new line, and then white space. Plus? I don't. Okay, we'll just do this. Replace with value. There we go. I think those all look right. So let's do JSON. Okay, cool. Copy that. What kind of web dev stuff do you work on? Unacademians? Unacademians? Yeah. It's a fun name. There we go. Okay, so now what we can do is when we set up our device, we can load our key mappings. So self.load mappings. And we'll make our new function down here. Actually, we'll do this one as a load key mappings. The hardest part about coding is coming up with the names. Okay, so with open, then our file path is going to be .key underscore mappings, right? That's what I named it. Yeah, key mappings.json, comma, read only as f, and then do we have JSON? No. So we need to import JSON. And then let's see. So import our JSON, and then we do JSON loads. Where'd we go? JSON loads. Mern stack. Is that, I don't know, I've never heard of that. I've heard of like lamp stack. Mern. I'll have to look that up. Mern stack. Oh, JavaScript. Okay. Oh, Mongo, Express, React, and Node.js. Okay. Cool. Cool stuff. Yeah, I can never really get into JavaScript stuff. That stuff kind of makes my head turn. I can do like a little bit of JavaScript and mess around with it a little bit, but like doing whole like web dev stuff that stuff blows my mind. It confuses the hell out of me. So hey, at least you got that going for you. I can't that stuff I can't really handle. I'll do like one or two Java JavaScript things to like, I don't know, pen test some web interface or some API or something, but that's about it. All right, so JSON loads f.read. So we want to read the data from the file, load it into the JSON, and then we've got self mappings. The self.key mappings equals self.load mappings, and then load mappings can just return that. I mean, we should obviously probably check to see if that data is fine before we load it, but YOLO. This is my own code. Load key mappings. Okay, so let's run this and watch it error out. It's gonna explode. Non-type object has no CTX. Oh, it's because I don't have the device plugged in. That would help. Add hardware. Okay, now I can run it again. Or we'll let it boot up. Okay. Yeah, so it's a little bit of a mess. If you want, I can like reorient my camera and show you the device. Well, it's not really doing anything exciting. Or I could plug it into like a longer USB cable. That might work. But really what it is I've got it's a Python library that I've been writing called mountaindisplaypad.py, and it's using the Python USB library to talk to this USB device over the USB descriptors. So if we go in Linux, if we do something like LSUSB, and we get this device ID, which is this is the one that we're working with, the Mountain Display Pad. Do LSUSB V, and then give it the device. What this will do is it'll print out a list of USB descriptors, and these descriptors are basically they're schemas. It's like a schema that tells you how to communicate with this device. So for example, we have the one interface that I'm talking with is the 0x83 interface. Regardless, but anyway, so we have like one endpoint right here. This is an endpoint descriptor, and it says that our endpoint address is 0x81, and it's an in endpoint, which means that we are communicating to the device. And the transfer type is an interrupt transfer, so that's the type of transfer that you're doing to talk to the device. So what we're doing is we're effectively talking to this device over a couple of these USB endpoints. And for instance, this one is the one that I'm using is the 0x83. And that's it's like it's basically like an API. So if I related it to like web dev, you'd have like an API where you like talk to an endpoint on a server like slash login or something like that, and that would be your API that would then go to like the back end side of the server and do some login logic and stuff. This is kind of like the same endpoint, but it's for a USB device. And so, oh, knocking shit off my desk. So I've got Python talking to this USB device over its defined descriptors. And so let me take you into my Windows VM really quick. So this is Wireshark. And Wireshark I have configured for capturing USB messages. So you can see that right here. If you're familiar with WebDev, maybe you've gotten this low level, maybe not. But HTTP traffic and TCP traffic, all of that stuff goes over Ethernet or over your wireless or whatever, and you can sniff that and actually look at the data frames. And in this case, we can do the same thing with USB. So we can see the data that I've captured from this device. It shows that the device is talking over various different endpoints, and it's doing like interrupt transfers. And it shows me that, hey, this is an in uh, uh, transmission, or like this packet is coming into the device, or I'm sorry, in from the device to my host. And then Wireshark will like tell me, hey, this is like the leftover capture data. This is the stuff that's not part of like the actual USB packet, but this is the the manufacturer data. This is what's what the device is communicating back to the machine. That's not just header information or just packet information. So like when I have this selected in Wireshark, like the packet data length, this is actually a value that's stored in this packet. So this byte value of 40 represents 64, and that represents the length of this entire packet. And then this whole section right here, this is all of the extra data that gets sent with this transmission back and forth between my host computer and the USB device. So what I'm effectively doing is I'm emulating these same kinds of transmissions between my host computer and the device in order to get it to work in Linux. Because they have driver support for this device in Windows, but they don't have it in Linux, which kind of sucks. And I want to use my $35 Stream Deck in Linux. So I'm going to spend, I don't know, countless hours of my life reverse engineering it. So that's what I've got here is I've got a like an array of like all of those byte values that you saw in Wireshark, and these all represent the individual key presses. So like here's 0, 2. This one represents like the first key on the top row. This is the second key on the top row, third key, fourth key, fifth key, sixth key, and then we get down to the second row or the bottom row, and it does the same thing. Yeah, it is pretty low level stuff. A lot of it really goes like over my head, but I've been kind of like poking at this thing for months now, off and on, and it starts to make a little bit more sense the more you dig into it. Um, oh shit, I wasn't even showing you that. I do this often where I have, because I've got two virtual machines running. I've got like a Windows one and a Linux VM. Sometimes I don't go back and forth on the stream side. But what I was saying is like these are the this is that leftover capture data that you saw in Wireshark that represents data from the device for each key press. So whenever I physically push a key on the display pad, it'll send this data back to my computer. So I just have like a static array of values that represent those keys. So I have it defined statically. I could go through and break it down and be like, okay, so like the eighth byte or whatever, eighth word in this whole packet, check to see if it's got that or that. But I'm just checking the whole thing because I'm lazy. Um, but something else that's kind of fun is like over here in the Windows side of things, I've got ghidra set up with so this whole software, this whole display pad software, it's called Basecamp, and this is made by the company that produces this hardware, whatever. And the one part that talks to the hardware that I have is this mountain display pad worker.exe, and this thing uses the where is it? The displaypad SDK.dll, and that's a dynamically linked library. So it's got a whole bunch of like reusable code, like functions and stuff that other software can use to talk to this device. So all of the reusable functionality is in this displaypad SDK.dll. So I've got that loaded up into yeah, exactly. I'm making a driver for Linux. Yep, you got that spot on. Um, so I've got that that DLL file loaded up into ghidra, and I'm going through and looking at the individual functions. So like one of the big ones that was really a pain in the ass to figure out is the set panel image. And this one is this is the function that actually sets like the image on the device itself, because there's like a screen behind the buttons, and it's one large screen behind all 12 buttons. And so what I'm assuming they're doing is, in software, they're splitting up that screen into 12 different little squares, and then digitally separating it into 12 separate squares, and then putting the whole image onto the device, onto the device's screen. So anytime you go on there and you like change one of the little icons, it's sending the whole ass image back to the device. So under that assumption, I went through and um, reversed this function to the point where I can send an image to the device and have it written onto the screen. The problem with that is I don't have all of like the extra software in place to make it easy to do that, and to like customize it easy where I can just like, drag and drop an image or something like that. I don't have any of that in place. It's all just a bunch of dumb Python functions that I call. Um, so this is reversing this is kind of this like really goes way over my head. The ghidra stuff. I'm somewhat okay at understanding assembly. It takes me a really long time to kind of figure out this stuff. But one of the things that really helps is the tool, what is it, the mountain display pad worker, this thing, mountain display pad worker.exe. um this thing is actually written in .NET, and .NET can be decompiled pretty easily. So there's a tool called ilspy that I ran this through, and it decompiles it. And because it's .NET, it has all of like the symbol information, all the function names, all sorts of like useless information that most compilers strip out of the binary. But in our case, we can decompile it a lot easier with that, and then we can do things like look at the imports. So where's the set panel image? So set panel image, in this function, we can actually see what it's calling in that DLL. So it's doing a DLL import and it's defining that function, but we can see like the data types that it's passing to that function. We've got like an ID that's an integer, an unsigned integer, and then we've got an integer pointer, then we've got another unsigned integer, yada yada yada. So I can take this, go into ghidra, and fill out like the function definitions, and then use that to kind of poke and prod at this and figure out, how it's actually supposed to be working inside the function, um, and then how that actually translates to my Python code. Yeah, that's all right. You don't need to work on anything as low level as this. You can get as low level as you want or as high level as you want. I think that's kind of the fun thing about reverse engineering is, um, like I said, I'm not very good at the assembly stuff. It takes me a long time to do like the ghidra part of everything, but the more I expose myself to it, the easier it gets to do and to understand, and the faster I get at it. So it's really just like a practice thing, and the more you reverse engineer stuff, the more you understand how all these disparate systems are connected, and you get a little bit better at it, and you get a little bit faster at it, and then pretty soon, you find yourself doing stupid low level things. But in our case, what I've been trying to do recently is get the buttons working. So the buttons, they, the original driver software, what it apparently does is it just kind of pulls the device constantly. And whenever like you get a button press, it'll do some stuff based on what that button press is configured to in the software. So I'm going to try to emulate that sort of. So these are the static definitions for those button presses. So this is like the first button, second, blah, 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 all the way to 12. And then I've got a polling input function. This one is called through a while loop. So this while loop will just continually pull the input on the device. And then while this is running, it goes in, it grabs a message from the device, and it checks to see if it's a key code message. Key code messages start with 0, 1. There's other messages in here. You'll see up at the top, we've got like a list of headers. So for like the, where is it, set panel image, this one has, this is as a header for that type of message. So anytime you want to send like a set panel image command to the device, you have to use that header and then a whole bunch of other stuff that's like packed into it. Oh yeah, that's that sounds pretty fun. Chatbots are always fun. Yeah, see, even like even you probably have more, I don't know, more experience writing C or C++ than I do. I tend to stay away from C and C++, at least writing it. I'll write it every now and then if I really have to, like if I'm doing like malware dev or something like that, or I'm like testing an exploit or some particular thing that really only can be done in C, or at least easily done in C. But most of the time I just do it all in Python because to me it's a lot quicker. I'm not having to like rack my brain over how do I iterate through this array, because I do that enough in Python as it is. I don't need to be doing it in C, I guess. But anyway, I'm gonna take a quick break, probably about 5 minutes. I'm gonna go get some more water, go to the bathroom real quick, and I will be back. So let me leave you with some cool music, and I will be back in just a couple minutes. Okay, cool, I'm back. Can you guys hear me all right? Cool. Okay, let's see. So I was making some JSON configs, the key mappings. So got our action, keybind, and then we've got the keybind value. And these are kind of just placeholders for now. I'll go through and actually define these as I run into Python errors. Let's see. So we need to go into here. And then, so if keybind is in our method, then what we do is we want to self dot keyboard dot press, and then method. Oh wait, input methods. So we handle our input, pull our input, and then handle the input. So whenever we get a key code, we press that. I wonder if we can just have a function definition in like a dictionary or something. That might be a little too annoying. I just don't want to do this stuff where I'm like, if key code equals 1, if key code equals 2, if key code equals 3. I just don't really like that stuff. So we have our mappings right here. So we can get this. So we'll get action and value. Okay, so da, 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 da. Definition equals, or no, I'll just do mapping. Mapping equals load key mappings, loads it into dot key mappings, self dot key mappings dot get. Let's see, key code. That's got to go to a string because it's currently an integer. So we convert that to a string. We get that. And then that prints out our mapping, which is just our dictionary that contains this. So action and then value. So let's see. So why do I do that? If mapping dot get. Actually, I'm a mapping dot get action. I could have. Let's just do this. Let's do def. Oops. And then we'll pass. No. So we'll pass. And then this will be def. What did I call this? Action? Okay. And then this will be execute. We do self actions equals what did I call it? Man, I can never remember. Keybind and execute. Keybind. Then we call self.keybind, or that'll just be a reference to self.keybind. And then we can keep a reference to self.execute. Oops. And this is probably all just a bunch of like overcoding, but whatever. So then we can do self.action.get mapping. Actually, let's see. Action. And what is the value? Yes, action and value equals mapping dot get action and mapping dot get value. Okay, so action get just do AV. Just because we're about to start tripping over variable names here pretty soon. Self.action get mapping dot get a and then that's V. Okay. I'm gonna put some comments here because I'm gonna need them. Call our action function. Alright, that is probably not gonna work, but let's do this. Okay, we'll make sure all this is configured right. Key code's getting pressed. May handle input, keybind. Okay, let's just do some print statements in here. Print. We also need the value parameter in here, otherwise it's gonna throw a fit. Format string. Alright, and we'll do the same thing over here, running execute. There we go. That should work. And then if I push a button, running keybind A, running keybind F1, running keybind F1. Oh, sick. Oh, yeah. Look at that, pushing buttons. Oh, hell yeah. All right. So now I can define my key mappings over here in this file. So there's also, I wanted to look into, is it OpenRGB? Oops. What did I just do? Okay. OpenRGB. Da, 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 da. Yeah, so they've got the keyboard under OpenRGB. I was thinking I could maybe make a could maybe make the basically the backend driver support and then use this as the front end. Use OpenRGB as the front end. Um, I'm thinking that might be ideal, but I do not know how the hell OpenRGB works. So I would have to be figuring that out too, which is not the worst thing in the world. Because I believe effectively it's the same thing, but I'm hoping that it's not where I'm required to build support with like C or something like that. Because I'm a baby, and if I get told to program in C, I'm gonna shit myself and I'm gonna cry. So I don't want to do that. There is an SDK, Python client. Project implements the OpenRGB SDK and provides additional ways for you to control your lighting setup. But does that let me look in some other shit? Client for OpenRGB SDK. Yeah, I think this would be, that would be if I wanted to like control stuff based off of the OpenRGB client. Hmm. Yeah, I could look into this later. This is how they implement device control. Freeform class provides whatever functionality is necessary to communicate with the device. Class should implement functions to send control packets to a device and receive information packets from a device. Set device colors and modes. Controller header file should provide defined constants for mode, speed, and other control values specific to the device's protocol. Yeah, I think this has got to be written in C or C+. Contains the following. Yeah, I think I might just get it working with my own code first, and then maybe throw this out there. See if anybody else wants to do it. Um, yeah. Okay. Why generic modifiers will be set when pressing either key shift, key shift, or key shift. Well, key shift will be present. Alright. So I'll have to go through and set up set up this code. I'm going to do this action. Keybind. Because these are private methods. Action keybind and action execute. I'm going to make these methods private. So handle input, self key code, and then do that based off the mapping. Alright, cool. And then this would do our keybind. So this is where we would do self.keyboard.press. Right? Yes, press. And then, oh boy, this is where I gotta split it up based off of, let's see. Let's see, if we have a plus in V, then keys dot append. Actually, nope. Keys we want to do plus equals V dot split on plus signs. That way, when we do something like shift plus I don't know, enter, then we should have two keys in here. We'll have shift plus enter. And then we can do keyboard press. Oops, keyboard press, and then global hotkeys. Two methods up to the state designed to be easily interoperable. Okie dokie. Alright, well, I am approaching 2 hours on this stream. I think that's a pretty good stopping point for now. Gonna take a break. Go work on some other projects, deal with some stuff around the house. And I will be back on later to continue working on this. So yeah, if you enjoyed any of this stream or you want to see more, go ahead, drop a like, follow. You can catch me on Twitch and also on YouTube. So yeah, thanks for hanging out and checking things out, and yeah, hanging out for a while. Cool. Alrighty, bye.